Starting right here, of course I've got one out there, but this wraps around, you can't see the curve very well, wraps around the corner, and then it continues down here. This is the harbor up above. That's my little mountain, little sandstone mountain. And through here, this was a little complicated through here, so I probably won't put any trim. And if anything, I might put a piece of trim right down here. But I'm okay with this. It's a very functional area and a little hard to make it look very pretty. So the trim continues around, and I had trim over here, and the new trim starts right there. I've got to get by this clamp. I'm clamping a backing piece on this curve that goes all the way around here. Let's see if I can get by it without shaking the camera too much. Oh. Woo! So, I'm all the way around here. This is the last piece to go in. It goes in right here, over to here. There are controls underneath here. You probably remember that. Signal controls. And then this probably needs a little piece glued in there too. I'll get to it. And we go around the big 180, if you recall. I'm checking the floor here to see how out of level it is and how much allowance I'm going to need on my legs for this new project. There will be 3 modules, as I've mentioned before, 40 inches by 48 inches. Each segment is 40 and there's 3 segments. What I discovered was that it's pretty level. I'm going to allow for some levelers, but it's really not bad at all. This is the layout for the Colorado Northwestern Railroad. The way it's basically a big loop with 2 reversing loops. So a train can come around and go around and come back, because this is a single line through here. I'm sort of duplicating what the Burlington had and the BNSF have now. And I'm combining eras here because the Cimex plant is there now. I don't have the history yet. I'm working on that. I don't know when it came into being. At one time, there was a bean cannery here. The building is still here so that I can take photographs and I can duplicate it. I can measure it and duplicate it. And there was a Gibson tractor plant here at one time. And the building is still in existence, so I can measure that, and I can actually find the siding, parts of the siding over at the Gibson tractor plant. So I'm going to build a building that doesn't exactly duplicate this, but it will be an indication of it. It was a brick building, and it was added on to multiple times, and I probably won't have all the additions, but I'll certainly have the original building. So we have three industries to worry about in this operating scenario. And at the cement plant, we have a coal dump, and we have car filling for the finished cement. And there are several sidings here. There were actually a few more sidings at the in the layout for the plant, and I've minimized it, and I think it's going to work. If it doesn't work, I'll have to add one, obviously. The cement plant consists of a limestone mine over here and a long conveyor that brings the limestone to the plant for crushing, and the coal is for the ovens to turn the limestone into cement. We have car filling, and they fill covered hoppers, and I'm pretty sure it's all blown. I don't think they do any actual, well, they might dump it in, but I doubt it. It'd be too dusty. It's probably a closed system, and they blow it into the cars, and they probably blow it out wherever they're going. So there's always 4 coal cars sitting here. When they use it all up, then 4 more are brought in, and the train coming down from Wyoming will pull up, and they'll break the train, and then a local engine will come out and grab the cars and come back and push them into this siding, which has a runaround too for other things, or if they're coming in the other way or whatever. So they bring the coal cars as needed up and drop them off. They bring them in here, they run around, they get in front, they pull them out, and they push them in. And they sit there, and the plant deals with that and pulls them up and dumps them and puts them in a big coal pile that's inside a building. There's a little coal stored outside, but most of it's stored inside. And I wouldn't want to be in there. And the coal is brought up on, as they use it, they bring in more. You don't see that many coal cars going up there. So it must be a very efficient system. Then the filling, they bring 4 cars at a time. Sometimes they stash them on this line, going to the coal feed. Sometimes they stash them over here, but usually they just stash them right here. And when they're done with them, they pull them out and they push them into this line. When the locomotive brings up the empties, he comes up here and drops them, comes back around, and takes the full ones and takes them back to Longmont, puts them in a siding. And when the right train comes along, and they accumulate till they have, 12 or 15 of them. And then when the right train comes through, they break the train, they pull them out, they push them in, connect them to the train, and the local engine goes back and waits. And then the long distance train hooks back up, and they take off. And it's quite a sight because it goes right through the middle of town. In fact, it goes down a street. And sometimes they'll pull way up on that street, and they'll back it up because there's a Y there. I don't have a Y. I don't have room for it. But they have a big Y, and they'll pull them up, and then they'll back them down into the sidings, these sidings here, drop them, pull back up into the street again, and then back up and pick up their train. And in the meantime, that train usually blocks the main street of our town here. So it's pretty interesting stuff. So that's the Colorado Northwestern. There's probably some kinks I haven't fully worked out, but um, it should be a lot of fun. If it takes another siding someplace, that's not a problem. We'll just add it. This is actually 8 more square feet than I had in my last attempt at a Colorado Northwestern. The other one was 2 feet by 16 feet, and this one is 4 feet by 10 feet. So that one was 32, and this is 40 square feet. Should be fun. Looking forward to it. Can't wait.